Hi guys, it's Stuart from the Film Cast. You're about to listen to our audio podcast review of the brilliant Rush Hour 2. It's a audio podcast. It's from our podcast that we release on iTunes and on Android. So there's no video, so you can sit back and enjoy our review of Rush Hour 2. Okay, I hope you enjoy this review. There's so much more you can listen to. There's so much more you can watch on the YouTube channel as well. It's the Film Cast. Just check it out, and there is loads. We're just starting off our Terminator franchise retrospective review. That is going to be something very, very good. Okay, hope you enjoy this, and I will see you very soon.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's Johnny.
Say hello to my little friend! Oh, anybody home? Think, McQuine, think! I feel the need for speed.
And welcome back to the Film Cast. I am Stuart, your host as usual. And again, I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the lovely Neil. Neil, how are you?
I'm very well, Stu. And we've got a special guest with us today, haven't we?
Exactly. I'm happy, ecstatic, excited, and moist to say that I'm joined by the lovely Rav. Rav, how you doing, mate? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
A
If
voice.
only we could.
Honestly, it's just unbelievable. So, Rav, what made you take the dip and come on our podcast? We are so delighted to have you.
I've not seen you guys in a very long time, so I thought, come and join the party. It's we listen to your podcasts, and especially on YouTube. Every single time you post a video, I'll happily sit there and watch it. So thought, yeah, come in, give my 2 cents.
Have you seen my latest one called Beneath that I put out a couple of days back?
That unfortunately I've not, because I've been working.
Honestly, it's a film on Netflix, meant to be a horror film, and I watched it with Adele, and it was terrible that I felt compelled to review it. That is absolutely awful. It's shocking. So yeah, it's so funny about a rubber killer fish in a lake.
Who isn't scared of rubber killer fish, though? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
I'm petrified
That's
every time I go into water, any rubber fish, especially the killer variety.
Exactly, that's what it's all about. But we're not joined by James this week. Sadly, James
No.
has got family matters. He's up to his neck in it, the poor lad. So he's had to take a back seat. But he has said he'll give this an 8 out of 10. It was a vast improvement on Rush Hour 3.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking about he's going to watch Rush Hour 3 again, and maybe he'll change his review.
I think he will. I think so, definitely.
I think so as well. I think so. Deep down, he knows that he was a bit harsh. He was a bit excited that night.
He was a bit excitable, wasn't he? I think that's the thing. He just became a bit of a war of words with you, and he gave it a score that wasn't necessary.
Exactly. Rav, did you watch Rush Hour 3?
a very, very long time ago. I'll have to brush up on it. But,
Don't
yeah,
bother.
it was a very long time ago.
What are your thoughts on the Rush Hour franchise?
As per usual, the first one, great movie. It's having, from East and West. So you've got Chris Tucker, a very good comedian, and the great Jackie Chan. What can you go wrong? What can he not do right? So it's the first one, great buddy cop movie. Definitely a very good movie. And then the second one, it was very much like one review now, but very much the same thing, but slightly skewed, slightly different. Not so much, I wasn't a big fan of the second one or the third one, but the first was definitely a very good movie.
Do you see like Chan as a one-trick pony, or have you seen what's that one called on Netflix where
The Foreigner.
The
The
Foreigner,
Foreign? That's it. Yeah, well remembered. Have you seen that at all?
I have. It's very dark compared to his normal movies he does, but it's.
What did you think of it?
I thought it's an interesting concept for from what I can remember. Again, I've not watched it. I watched it a very long time ago, but you can see he's getting older. The choreography is still there, but it's slowed down compared to things like, Mr. Nice Guy or Project A when he was in his prime.
But it's good to see a different side, because I was saying last week when I was kind of fighting the corner, so to speak, and I was saying that it was great that he did that because it saw a different side to Jackie Chan, a side that, I've got a lot of criticisms in this film. There's more criticisms I've got than I had in the third one, funnily enough. But it was great to see him kind of empowered as an actor, to actually using some acting skills and proving people wrong, that he's not just all about doing his stunts, which are amazingly impressive. And I was so pleased he did it, especially late on in his career, because it would be sad that he would be remembered for just being like a one-trick pony,
I'm sure there are movies in Cantonese or Mandarin whereby, sometimes we don't see them in the West here, but I'm sure there are movies set in Hong Kong, China, whereby you've got where he's, he show his range, his acting range.
Exactly. So I needed you last week when I was getting bullied. Honestly, I left the podcast in tears last week. I tried to hide it. I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and I hope you did cry after giving it a higher score as you did, to be honest. I think he will be known as a one-trick pony unless he does a lot more films like The Foreigner. And all right, I haven't seen it, but I take your word as gospel, to be fair, Stu.
You're a mad man.
So, I suspect unless he does more films like that, he will just be known as a one-trick pony over here, in the sense he's the funny guy that does lots of flips and crazy shit.
Yeah.
But so what stuff is Rab into?
Is anyone else like Jackie Chan around now?
How so?
I mean, you've got the guy from oh God, what's it called? It's even one of my favourite ever films. The Raid.
Oh, it's. I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember the name right now.
Yeah, you've got
Can't
him.
be that memorable.
You've got Donnie Yen, who's another.
Donnie Yen's quite old though now, isn't he?
They're all getting on in age, unfortunately. There's not been anyone in recent times who have taken up the mantle of you can act and you can also do the choreography as well as stunts.
Is that because though that those type of films aren't particularly well watched anymore?
I mean, The Raid is incredible. Have you ever seen that, Neil?
No, I've not seen The Raid. No.
Oh my lord, it's so good. I honestly, and The Raid 2 as well is an amazing film. It's a carry-on straight from The Raid, and it's just absolutely incredible. The choreography is just mind-blowing. And the strange thing is, it's I think it's Indonesian film. I think.
Yes, it is.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, and the actual film.
Iko Uwais, I think is his name. That's the name of the actor, Iko Uwais.
That's it. I may have
butchered that name. That name.
See, that's quite an old film now. It's 10 years old.
Yeah, and it was done by Gareth Evans, who's a Welsh guy. So it was so weird that a Westerner has done such like an influential, amazing martial arts film. It's so good, and he did The Raid 2, which has got the same guy in it. We actually did a podcast on it, so I wanted James to watch it.
Okay.
And we went into like the style of karate. I think it's Panic-Silik karate style that he does. And it's incredible, and it's because it's all Indonesians. It's all like unlike when you've got I say Jet Li in Lethal Weapon 3 when he was fighting Mel Gibson, had to slow it down. That because obviously it's all people who are skilled in martial arts, it's just absolutely incredible. And it's so quick, and the choreography is just second to none. And he uses the same characters as well. And the characters in there are kind of like third dans and champions at Panic-Silik, which is the skill they use. It's just, honestly, you've just got to see it. It really is. It's just
I'll bear it in mind.
Yeah, it's such a good film. One of them was on Netflix or Amazon. I'm not too sure which one. But,
okay. Well, I've got
the funny thing is, when I obviously having watched The Raid, I recently watched Dread again, one with Carl Urban, and it reminded me much of The Raid.
Yes, floor by floor clear out. I mean, you love the Dread, don't you, Neil?
Oh, I love that film so much. It's so good. It's one of my favourite ever films, Dread.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gutted
is
they never did a
Didn't
second
do-
or did the Netflix series that they talked about, but
I wonder
because it
what
Still
didn't.
in the
what.
works, apparently.
What? Sorry.
Well, apparently it's still in the works. How true that is, who
I don't know.
knows?
I don't know.
Who
It's been
knows?
spoken about for a long, long time, but it never carried on because it just wasn't well received in cinemas. But I think the love of the film afterwards has been quite strong. So it's a shame because Carl Urban said he always wanted to play Dredd again,
Yeah,
but I don't know if he'll ever get the
Right.
chance.
I think he's a very
No.
underrated actor, Carl Urban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him in The Boys, he is
Oh,
so good
yes.
as the butcher.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah, he's so foul mouthed, isn't
It's
he?
brilliant, isn't it? He's the type of guy I'd love to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, we must get back to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yes.
it's the
Digress.
longest podcast ever. Okay, Rush Hour 2, 2001. Again, directed by Brett Ratner and written by Ross Lamana. Again, you've got that continuity. We are doing them backwards because that's what we do. We are backwards. So we're doing 3, 2, and 1. So next week, we'll be talking about the creation of Rush Hour, even though we know exactly what happened. The budget for this one grew as usual. It was 90 million estimated. Opening weekend, 67 million. It grossed in the US, 226 million worldwide, 347. So again, it was a massive success. And again, Chris Tucker got a huge whack of salary of over 25 million. And he got more than Jackie Chan yet again. I know that really angers Neil.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't for the third one definitely because it was fucking awful. But this one I don't mind so much. So there you go.
Fair play. I mean, again, you've got Jackie Chan plays Inspector Lee, Chris Tucker plays Carter, you've got John Lone who plays Ricky Tan, Zizi Yang who plays Hu Lee, Rosalind Sanchez who plays Isabella Molina, and Alan King who plays Stephen Rain. You've got other characters in there who aren't important. Apart from you've got Maggie Q, who's at the start. Lovely Maggie Q, who's just so young in a car, who's just Chris Tucker tries to chat up. I didn't notice her when I first watched it, but I went through IMDb and it says Maggie Q's in it. I
Yeah,
thought,
it
who the
does.
bloody hell is she? What does she play? And then I
Girl in
saw her.
car.
She's fantastic and she's lovely, Maggie Q. Die Hard 4 and Femme Fatale. Just very attractive woman. I think Mission Impossible 3 as well. Very, very lovely in the eye. And also a very lovely lady, I'm sure.
Oh,
So this starts off with a bang, literally, where it goes to the American consulate being blown up by Hu Lee. We don't quite know why. And I must admit, I was unsurprised because the last one started, big bang, big explosion, something happening. And the first one starts as well. We know that already. And I'm always happy, and I've always liked this lady ever since I saw her in House of Flying Daggers. Zizi Yang, I fell in love with her. She's so lovely. She really is stunning. And
worst wig ever though.
oh, worst wig ever. Yeah, 100%. But I've
It's-
been having no hair myself. I can't comment on that. But it's great. I mean, she doesn't. I mean, in a tangent, and again in her film, she does martial arts. She's amazing at it. But she's a professional dancer, and she uses her skills a bit like John Travolta uses his dancing skills, and Patrick Swayze. So
Wow.
she's brilliant. But instantly you get into it where it goes to Carter, goes to Lee in the car, and you've got the Beach Boys, and you've got that cheesy feel to this film again, which I really don't mind. I'm quite happy with.
Yeah, I think that's just their chemistry, isn't it? They are just cheesy together.
Yeah.
I think James had a massive issue with Chris Tucker in the third installment, saying it was just Chris Tucker being Chris Tucker. But that's kind of the more you watch them, it's just who they are, isn't it? And it is a cheese fest, but you don't mind it because that's who he is.
I
think
think
we're going to do this film a favour. I think going backwards, we're really going to do this a favour.
I think you're right.
I mean, you haven't seen the third one, Brad. So I think you're a luxury, probably, aren't you?
As I said, I think I watched this a very, very long time ago. So, I mean, when this Rush Hour 2 came out in 2001, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen 3. But I do like Jackie Chan movies, so it is on my list.
Yeah, I'd always watch this if it's on. I know I get crucified again, but even three, if three was on, I'd quite happily sit and watch number three.
Oh
It
God,
really doesn't bother me.
I
And
wouldn't
you
wipe my
there
ass with the fucking cover. Honestly, it's so shit.
but
Oh,
you get the chemistry, which is so good between these two. And when I watched this, I was about, I don't know, in probably the third act of the film, and I thought, do you think Chris Tucker has asked for more lines in this film? He seems to star in it more than Chan does, I think. I don't know what you guys think.
It's a good trade-off. I mean, I would say if he did ask for lines, because all the action, majority of the action scenes, you're looking at Jackie Chan. You're not looking at Chris Tucker, because the choreography is done with Jackie Chan, and same with the stunt team. So I think it would be a good balance if they did do that, whereby Chris Tucker brings the comedy side to the film.
Yeah, I think they did it right. I think you're right. What do you think, Neil? Do you think there's a payoff or not really?
yeah. I don't know. I kind of agree with Rab and not, because I think he has a lot more action in this film, and they bring him into it a lot more with the martial arts and stuff. But yeah, I think he's obviously quite big at this stage, and he clearly wants to show how funny he really is. So I think he probably has been given a lot more lines because of that. Because of,
Yeah,
like Rav said, he is the comedy factor, isn't he?
exactly. And I think they gain from that. I honestly, personally think when they go into this karaoke bar, because he's out there with Jackie Chan, Inspector Lee. He's on holiday, but all he's done is work cases. And he
Yeah.
doesn't know that he's still working a case with him. They're after a guy called Ricky Tan, who I think is responsible for blowing the consulate up. And his karaoke bar, it's the tropey kind of Asian karaoke bar where they're terrible at singing. And his reaction to listen to this guy singing, I fucking pissed myself. I even laughed tonight. So funny. He does this so well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Down to fucking class.
yeah. He's ruining a good song and all that, murdering a good song, and he's booing him. And it's sitting next to that old Chinese bloke who's just looking at him going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Take us through the house. I won't make it, baby.
What in the world is going on up in here? Am I the only one listening to this? Man, destroying a classic.
Till the fight does up. Don't stop till they get enough. Keep on. Till the fight does up. Don't stop till they get enough. Boom!
It was brilliant.
It's just his singing. It was really surprised me how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you done karaoke, guys? Do you like karaoke? Will you put your hand up?
Mate, I'd clear a room in seconds if I stood up and did karaoke.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't let me on it. It's awful. So that guy, get out.
Well, I remember it's one
Oh,
drunk
Rav
night
stole-
in what was it, Warsaw in Poland, with one of my friends. That was interesting.
What, you were
Never
karaoke?
again, though. I was karaokeing, unfortunately. Bon Jovi as well.
Bon Jovi, wow.
You can't go wrong with Bon Jovi.
Talk about choosing a big number. Bloody trying to sing Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I butchered it.
Fair play to you.
I'll have a pissed up story of me doing karaoke in Butlins and Rav ramps it up to Warsaw in Poland having karaoke. He completely
It was
pisses off my
dingy.
stories.
It
I'm glad
was-
I asked you first, Rav, honestly. I really am. So,
Yeah, it was
but,
a Butlins in Dubai, though, wasn't it, Stu?
Of course. Of course.
sadly not. It was fucking Minehead or some shithole, I think. Yeah, you got in free if you were a junkie or a alcoholic or divorced or something like that. It was really, really exciting. So I was up there singing Wonderwall and I thought I was a dog's bollocks, honestly. I really, really. But again, Tucker finds out that he's there to do a case. And again, what I like about this is every time he tries to do his Chinese, it cracks me up because it is so bad at his Chinese. But he thinks he's so good.
He's got so much confidence, hasn't he? It's,
But that's half the thing, isn't it? If you're learning a different language, you need to be able to sell it so that you actually what you're saying, even though you're talking absolute bollocks. As long as you sell it to the wider world, everyone will believe. Yeah, he knows how to speak that. He knows how to speak this.
And he has got so much front. It cracks me up. It's just walk up to people, go Nick Ting Tao, and everyone would look at each other as if like, what the hell are you talking about?
He just
But
insults that cat.
They see some of the triads, which leads to a really great scene where they're climbing up this bamboo after the triads, and it's such a massive kind of sight, isn't it? The bamboo. I mean, do they do that? I wonder.
I'm sure
use
they
bamboo
do.
I don't know.
I think they do. I think they do. Yeah.
Modern era. I doubt in the modern era, but prior to that, they must have.
It's incredible spectacle, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean,
It's good for cinematography as well.
Yeah, watching them climb up the bamboo, hanging off it, and again, as I said in the last one, and in like the Lethal Weapon films as well, like the actual practical effects, I think you just get so much more appreciation. Especially, it's renowned that Chan does his own stunts. It's just so quick.
Yeah,
it's so impressive. I mean, I don't know how old he is when he was filming Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, Jesus, I know.
Got it on the brain, mate.
He
got it on
cares.
the brain.
But when he was doing Rush Hour, I mean, it's just incredible.
50s.
How old was he, Rev?
I think he was in his 50s when
Yeah,
he was doing
I think
that.
he was. Yeah.
He's so agile, isn't he? And there's a number of stunts he does where how he does it, and it's just you forget what's going on and what's actually happening. You just look at him and think, how can he keep going? Because they don't cut away. It's just a lot of it's continuous.
It's very clever, isn't it?
There is this one scene, I must admit, which did make me chuckle, is when everyone's climbing up the bamboo and Chris Tucker's character starts to climb, sees someone off, and all of a sudden goes, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, if I was in those shoes, I'll probably be the same. Oh, no, I'm not gay. I'm okay.
I'll take the stairs like him and be
yeah.
exhausted by the top. Yeah, definitely.
There's no way I'd fucking do that. I have not got a head for heights. I would not be fit to climb up that. But it's really impressive the way when they do get to the. I mean, Jackie Chan's falling off it because obviously when he gets to the top, he goes up there and sees Hu Lee, and she knocks him off. Then Chris Tucker does the same thing, and it's so good because you can believe that Jackie Chan's up there and he's actually doing it because he's bonkers. But as soon as Chris Tucker gets up there, obviously his wealth and his status, you instantly, for me, it kind of ruins it a bit because you lose the excitement because part of me, the excitement is knowing that he does it and how far he's willing to push himself. And you know there's no way that Chris Tucker's going to do this whatsoever.
No, I can't imagine. He's dangling from a pole like high up at all, no.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. Is that a field day?
He just, he would get the insurance to actually put him hanging off anything. Plus, his fucking ego wouldn't allow him.
No, probably not.
Again, from there, I really like the next scene, and it's just when they go to the massage parlor. So funny. And again, it's Chris Tucker in his element. When he's there choosing those women, it's just like a kid in a candy shop, isn't it?
You pick any girl for you and your friend.
Any girl?
Any girl.
Okay. I don't know where to start. I'll take that one right there. She got to come.
Oh, yes. She's very nice.
She is nice, but I hurt my back and my neck, and I need a little bit more massage, So I'm going to take her in the pink, too.
Oh, yes.
What are you doing?
She said I can have any girl I want in here, man. Calm down. Wait a minute.
Well, hurry up.
Man, what's wrong with you? You don't jump in front of a black man in a buffet line. Calm down.
He's just so good. And just listening to what he says, you can imagine him just making up all these lines, can't you? And everyone pisses themselves laughing.
Oh, definitely. Can we all go to a massage parlour like that, please? Because it looks like a lot of fun.
What would we do there?
Well, I'd get a back massage, hopefully, because I've got a bit of a bad back. But
work out those knots.
Bad neck, bad feet, everything.
Yeah.
Jesus, but yeah, he picks about 5 girls, I think, doesn't he, when he's in that massage parlour, and they're all extremely attractive women.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
So did you go and one in Poland, Rav, Warsaw, when you were there? Did you finish your
No.
karaoke?
All I remember was having a number of bottles of beer in my hand on the table, and I can't remember the rest of the night.
Yes, that's an answer. Yes, I think.
Yeah. Some sort of massage parlour was used, yes.
Yeah.
Visited,
Don't
let's say.
hear any denial of a massage parlour being. So I'm
I'm
definitely
either going to confirm or
yeah.
deny.
So yeah, again, when they're in the massage parlour, you actually meet Ricky Tan himself, and I've got a bit later on. I've got a few issues. No, actually, fuck it. Let's talk about it now.
Go on then.
It's Ricky Tan. It turns out is, or was rather, the partner of his dad, Jackie Chan's dad, and he found out he was in the Triads, and Jackie Chan's dad was killed because of that fact. But I don't understand how Jackie Chan looks older than Ricky Tan, and he's meant to be his dad's partner.
That's very true.
Doesn't add up whatsoever, does it?
No, continuity there is poor.
Working in the police, that does it to you, doesn't it? I'm sure.
It just doesn't make sense, because
No.
when he said that, I thought, fuck me, was he like 5 when he was in the police then?
I didn't even notice it, Stu, until you just said it, to be honest, but you're completely right.
Yeah.
They look similar age, don't they? If not, Tan looks a bit younger. So you're right.
Yeah, it's just so weird. But again, when reluctantly Tucker squares up to Tan, you get a really, really good fight in the massage parlor, and you do see Chris Tucker actually. I wouldn't say. Would you doing martial arts? How would you describe it?
It was very well choreographed, and it was nice to see that they gave Chris Tucker's character a lot more to do than just punch go. It was very, very well choreographed.
Yeah, I like the scene a lot. I really do. I think it was very clever. The comedy aspect of where he's smashing up the laptop because he wants Tan's attention, and he has no clue that 15 guys have stood up behind him, just about to kick his ass. And then, yeah, the whole fight scene. I thought it was very well done. But
It's
Rav's
really
right.
quick. I don't know whether it was speeded up at all, because it was a remarkable. The Jackie Chan things, again, I always believe that they're doing what they're doing, because mostly in these films, Jackie Chan is fighting other Asian males who are probably trained in either stunts or martial arts or both. But it was really, really quick, and seeing him just roll over sofas and kick people, and it's just so impressive. And it's only when you see the outtakes that you realise just how much pain he goes through, how much he gives it 100%, doesn't he? Which you have to, obviously, otherwise you're going to get seriously hurt.
Yeah, it's true.
I think especially with Jackie Chan, because having watched a number of his movies, the older he's getting, the less he's taking the hits. So if you have a look at him in The Foreigner, compared to, again, going back to the start of his career, Project A, he can sell the hits, but as he's getting older, he's starting to get hit a lot less, but he can still sell it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I think that's one thing that's just captivating about him when he's doing it. I know we were talking about the one trick pony, but obviously this is what he's amazing at. And I think anyone who's so good at martial arts, when you watch them, because it's something that I just will never, ever be able to do, no matter how much I tried, I think it's a natural gift that people have got, isn't it?
Like I said, if you did, mate, you'd end up killing people. So that's, you can't do it. You're not allowed to be a martial artist. It wouldn't be fair on the rest of the human race.
I sneezed and hurt my back the other day.
You didn't.
Yeah, so I think me hurting someone doing martial arts, it's never going to fucking happen.
I have to say, the comedy in this one, though, this scene's brilliant, where he accidentally punches Jackie Chan in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And quite racial, but he turns out, "You all look the same to me," which you can't help, but it's just awful. You wouldn't get away with it these days. Oh, and then when he rips the towel off that bloke and he goes, "I can see why you're angry." It's just hilarious.
Yeah,
and then whips in the nuts with the towel. It's like, oh.
And again, it's the chemistry between them two. Even during a fight scene, it's just, it feels so natural. It feels so close. It's getting comparable with Lethal Weapon. It does feel so good, and you really want these two to be together, just because it's great. But it's weird because for me, from going from that, which you kind of come away buzzing, to then going to the police station, and we moaned about this last week, where again, whilst you're in the police station, you get the same old story. I don't know why they've done this so many times. You get Zing Hang, you get Hu Lee come along, deliver another bomb, and blow up the police station. They think Carter's dead, but he left earlier because he left his wallet in the massage parlor. But you then get that moment where it's really sad. Like last week, they had a massive Barney, didn't they, in the bedroom of this hotel?
Yeah.
And they went off together. They were really down, and Chan was trying to use his acting skills to be emotional and upset, and it ruined it because he's just not a very good actor at this moment in time, or doing what he's meant to do, whether it's a direction. And
when he sat in that chair, acting all depressed because he thinks it's crap, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can just see. They basically turn around and say, "Jackie, go and sit in that chair and look sad, would you?" And he's just tried.
And in the car listening to P Diddy, it was just obviously that's a callback for number one, which we haven't done yet. But to me, it took me out, and it wasn't needed. It was just a waste. They could have just not had that on there. I just thought he's dead and left it. I mean, what do you think, Rav? Did it bother you at all, or did you not really give a shit?
It's difficult to say because when he sat in that chair in the middle of the police station, it is very much he's forcing himself, as you said, and it almost looks like he's smiling. And then again, when in the car, it's very forced. I think from viewing it, from watching it, it looked like he was very forced. He's sinking into the fair play. Like you said, it's a callback to number one, but it just seems a bit too forced. He's not. He's not at that time. You can't feel it from his character saying what he's just lost his best friend.
Yeah, and I think what doesn't help is that you're right. It is forced, and it's really kind of overtly forced, and you can see it. But you've just gone from something which is really natural to him doing martial arts, which flows so well, and you're comfortable watching it, you enjoy it, to then something so forced that he can't do. It just takes me out of it. It's a real shame they had this in there, because
it was padding almost, wasn't it? It was just another little plot spin which lasted about 5 minutes, because he obviously finds him again very soon after that. So it just didn't really need it.
No, and again, I felt the same about, you've got him sitting there in the police station all sad looking, it's just terrible, to Tucker walking around a market trying to find a massage parlor, and he comes across that lady asking for directions, and he going to cut the head off a chicken. To me, that was horrific. I couldn't watch that at all if I was actually walking around a market at all, like the wet markets, but that just wasn't needed. I could have done without it. It didn't add anything, didn't give me anything, or I don't know if I'm just being miserable. I don't know what you think.
I found it funny. I've got to be honest. I found the whole chicken thing funny, especially after as he's then carrying that chicken around. That's the only way he can save his life, because this woman just really wants to kill this chicken. But I can see what you're saying. But no, I found it funny. I was chuckling to myself.
It was good to see. It was just a scene for Chris Tucker. That entire segment there was just Chris Tucker in his element. You got the comical aspect of what he's very good at, and he's portraying that on the screen, which was nice to see that. And again, it comes back to what you said earlier, whereby he was given a few more lines, if that's the case. So this was his element.
I did like the way the taxi driver mugged him off as well.
Yeah.
Took all his money, then told him to wait, and then he fucked off anyway. It's just like, fair play to you, mate.
Yeah, I do that. But next they go to Ricky Tan's yacht. They're followed there, and they each they meet there. Obviously, as we know, they go there. But watching Jackie Chan get across that rope with that polystyrene box on his foot,
effortless. Absolutely effortless.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's effortless the way he does it, and that would have taken a load of effort to force yourself across that rope, keeping yourself dry with that box on your foot. It's absolutely incredible.
Let's be honest, none of us would have ever done that. We would have ended up in the water on the first jump.
Oh, but
Yeah, I would have been too scared to start with. Definitely.
Oh, bless you, Stu.
In trouble. But they both end up on the boat, but they don't know they're on there yet. And again, whilst they're on the boat, they Tucker sees the amazingly lovely Zizi Yang on the boat, and that's when we first meet Rosalind Sanchez.
Mm.
And
And I'm pleased we do.
see, I loved her in Devious Maids. I thought she was brilliant in that, and I thought it was a really good series. It's a shame it didn't go on for longer. But in this, I found her really cardboard acting. I thought, I mean, she's lovely looking, don't get me wrong, but I found her acting terrible. I really did. I found her really cardboard. But again, that could just be me being a miserable bastard. It wouldn't be the first time. Rav, what did you think?
I'll be honest with you, I've not seen her in any other movies or TV shows, so this is the first experience I have had of her acting is in this movie. So I can't really comment on that, unfortunately.
So, did you think she was good though, or did you think fair enough, memorable, forgettable?
I think there are certain scenes which are memorable. I'm sure you both would agree.
Very, very memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about them. But
Yeah,
whilst they're on the boat,
Hmm.
they bump into Stephen Rain, who apparently, by the sounds of it, is described by Chris Tucker as owning half of Los Angeles. And we know already there's something wrong because he's with the agent and he's properly punching above his weight. So we know that there's something wrong there because there's no way that he, even for his money, will be able to get hold of such a nice young lady, such as whatever acting lady, Isabella.
I'd have to disagree with you, Stu. I think there are some very shallow men and women out there that will do anything for money, and I think that's what her character is. She's pretending to be one of those people that will do what they can for a dollar bill.
I think she'd do what she could anyway, to be honest, for anyone.
I wish you would for me.
I really do. But just purely by chance, Carter and Lee do meet on the boat, and then they're introduced to Ricky Tan, and it's kind of this. I didn't really see because when I introduced him, he's actually kind of giving Lee a massive bollocking, and then he speaks to Lee on his own, and whilst he's speaking to Lee, Lee comes in and shoots him, and you think that he's dead, but to be honest, I didn't buy that at all. Even on the first viewing, I didn't buy that. And I know this isn't like rocket science. It isn't a massive conspiracy film where you just don't know where it's going. But it didn't sell as any tension to me.
Well, we didn't really know who this Lee was, really, did we? We didn't really know anything about it. Then all of a sudden, she shot Ricky Tang. So yeah, I was just following it along, and I wasn't shocked by it. You could sort of see that something was going to happen, but I don't know. I was just sort of enjoying the flow of the film at this point, the ebb and flow.
Yeah, I didn't think he was dead though. I don't know. What did you think, Rav?
Again, I think it's a very cliche death scene whereby the main bad guy all of a sudden gets shot by the minion, and that's the last you see of him. And then next thing you know, the last third of the movie, he appears again. So I didn't believe that he was dead. It seemed a bit too convenient. You don't get rid of one of the main bad guys in the middle of the movie. That's
it's not a conspiracy film, and it's not like one of those films where when we do see him later on in the Red Dragon, that we turn around and go, "Fuck! Oh my god, he was never dead." Oh my god! Then you start calling the wife, "Babe, come here. He wasn't dead." No, it's not that I do that in my house for anything, but apart from Line of Duty, which is very good, but it just wasn't one of those kind of moments that stuck out for me as "fuck me." I always got fooled by that. Never again. Never again. But conveniently, this does after their kind of debacle, as I call it, on the boat. They do both then go to America conveniently because that's where everyone else is going, and they're keeping an eye I don't know if they're keeping an eye on Stephen Rains or they're keeping an eye on Isabella Molina. But
It's
the
Rains,
payoff
isn't it?
for it, is it Rains?
Yeah, because on the plane he says that there's always a rich white guy behind everything. So Chris Tucker says that we need to keep an eye on Rains because he was playing it too cool on the boat when all the guns started firing and stuff like that.
And
he
that's
says
when
that,
we get the scene that Rav liked.
Yeah,
No comment.
yeah. Only Rav likes
Why
it.
did you
no
like
one
this
else did.
scene in particular?
Womanizer.
What was it? What acting? What kind of emotions? What was it that sold it to you?
It's a great piece of cinematography. So that was.
Is it pornography or cinematography? Which one was that? Could you confirm that? But you,
I mean,
yeah, you,
I must admit, with the scene itself, Jackie Chan
Yeah.
and Chris Tucker did play that well. When they were fighting over the binocular, it was very well done, trying to figure out, right, give it to me, no, it's my turn, no, it's your turn, let me see. So
yeah, because
Yeah,
they're
it was
watching
funny.
at the time. The agent get undressed, and I love the way that, as you say, Chan, when he's talking about it, he can't help but draw and give a commentary as if he's watching some kind of really terrible porn
Slow
film.
down, baby, he says at
Yeah.
one point. And Tucker's like, what? What did you say?
Even Chris Tucker comes over and says it's was it Victoria's Secret spring catalogue, page
Yeah.
28, 20, when she's standing there in her underwear. And I have to say, she does look incredible. She's got an amazing figure.
Yeah, she does.
It's just really, really funny. They just bounce off each other so well. And that's when you see again. And I was really pleased that it didn't pay off the way I thought it would, because Huli arrives again with another package and gives it to her. And you think, oh my God, another bomb. They're going to do this same storyline for the third time.
Yeah, I thought
But
that.
yeah, but I was relieved when they do rush across and they do get the package off her and take it to the roof, and it turns out that it's fake money. And that's when she reveals herself in more ways than one as a US agent, doesn't she?
She does.
And is it she works for the
Secret Service.
That's it, the Secret Service. Yeah, the US Secret Service agent. And it's weird because she explains to them that it's like the fake money, and it's something like that. Some 5 out of the 6 biggest banks in the world can't tell that this is fake money. And she tells them the whole plot, and that when it burns with a red glow out of it.
Mm.
And when she makes that call after they leave, and she kind of gets them on side, but she makes the call and says Carter and Lee won't be a problem for the Secret Service anymore. Is that call made to the Secret Service to say that they're not a problem? Who's that call made to? I never could understand who it was.
I think it's potentially to her, to the person she's acting to. She's not, not to the Secret Service, but to the other guy. I can't remember his name now. God, it's me.
I thought, who else knows that Lee and Carter are there for her to make that call to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? To be honest.
No, she makes it to Stephen Rains or even Ricky Tan. They don't know they were in the room.
No.
So I don't know who she.
I think it's probably to a handler, isn't it? The person that's in, her boss, so to speak. But it has no payoff whatsoever. It's a pointless thing to say because it has no payoff at all.
Just another red herring.
It doesn't get rid of them at all. It actually just makes them more involved in the case. I mean, why would you even say anything to them about it at all? You just say, look, this is a government case. You're not allowed here. If I see you again, I'll get you arrested. But she doesn't. She spills the entire plot and gives them a whole reason to go off and find more information.
Yeah.
But this is one thing that really annoyed me about this movie. You've got a millionaire who owns God knows what, a yacht, etc., printing money, and this dye apparently is from India, which burns red. But the real one, the real dollar bills, they burn black. You've got all this money and investment to launder money, yet you can't pick the right dye.
That's
so
Ram,
true. You've got
actually.
the
That's
best
very
plates
true.
in the world.
Yeah. Everything is on point, but the dye, which is red. So it just does that took me out of the immersion bit. And it's just like, well,
No, I didn't even
surely
give that thought, Rob.
I didn't until then. But the interesting thing, why do all these people? He owns half of Los Angeles. So unless, Los Angeles is extremely poor, he's got a lot of money. Why does he need to launder even more, make fake money?
Yeah.
There's no gain to it at the end, unless I've missed something, in the sense that they're doing it for a reason.
I don't know.
It just seems that rich man wants to be richer.
I think that's all it is. I think that he wants to put all the money in the casino and be richer. But I don't know. I mean, again, this is followed by. I mean, I love seeing Don Cheadle, Iron Man, just awesome. I love it. But this scene again was really padded out.
Yeah.
Why do they need this scene? Because all it leads them to is Rains Plaza.
Yeah.
And they just really, really didn't need it. And it was just terrible dialogue. You learned that he had the fucking fake dollar bills there and that they burn red. And then he tells them where they're from. And then they go to the plaza. I mean, I'd rather have them just go to that address or some other way of getting them to that plaza than have this, because there was just no payoff. I mean, it just was pointless. I don't know. I don't know if I'm fatigued about watching like 6 rush hours in a week or 2 weeks. You know what I mean? For these reviews, especially when they're the same. It's like watching one rush hour 6 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, they are the same story pretty much, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just as a slight twist. That's all they are. It's just they churned these out and made as much money as they could, and it was the right thing for them at the time. But there's not enough change.
I have to admit, though, Don Cheadle's character, as wasted as it was, and if he is actually speaking Mandarin, it is very well,
It's incredible.
Pronounces it very well.
And the martial arts as well. All of it was good, but it was misplaced, and I think that's what pissed me off. It was Don Cheadle was a really good actor.
Yeah, but it was just the same joke from the first film, wasn't it? It was the same bit, and they've done it. They didn't need to do it again. And you're right, they could have just done it in a completely different way. They could have gone to him and he could have just said, "Yeah, this is where I got it from." But it didn't need to be.
Early in the movie.
What, sorry?
Or introduced him early. Well, I say early in the movie, but name dropped his character. Like he is in. He's here. He's doing this back in the US.
Yeah. It was just didn't need to happen. It was just, we did this joke in the first one. It was well received. Let's shoehorn it in again in the second one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that leads to them going to Rains Plaza, and again, they come face to face after one of the smallest foot chases or shortest foot chases in the world, face to face with Lee and the rest of the gang. And again, it works well because some of the lines coming away from Chris Tucker is absolutely brilliant. And for me in this film, he's so funny. He's so on point. He's so sarcastic, and he's just great. And I love it every time he's on screen. Honestly, I like him as much as I like watching Chan's martial arts.
Yeah, his comedy in this is a lot better. It flows, doesn't it? In the sense of his one-liners and stuff. It was very tired in the third one because it was just the same shit churned out again. But in this one, I think they developed him quite a lot from the first.
Definitely, I think they learned from the first one of the points that worked really, really well. And I think they used it to advantage of a really, really good sequel so far. I mean, in the truck, they learned that there's loads of these clay kind of Asian warrior soldiers, and all of them are hollowed out stuff with money. And they're the money, that's the fake money that's going to be laundered, but these two obviously don't know where yet. And again, watching Jackie Chan struggle with this rope being tied up is fascinating to me. He's so agile. How the fuck at his age can he move and twist and get out of some of these situations? And when he's standing there rubbing his wrist in absolute pain, you can well believe that it actually would hurt. He doesn't need to.
Yeah,
thankfully.
Yeah, it is funny. I love this bit because Chris Tucker's saying, "I'm going to slap you, I'm going to bite your nose off," and stuff like that in the truck. And it's hilarious because he's so angry. But he'd get his ass kicked by Jackie any day of the week.
Lee! What happened? That lady Isabella knocked you out. That's what happened, man. She played you.
No,
Yes, she did.
she saved our life.
What?
Julio could have killed us.
Leo, you crazy, man. Look at us. We good as dead.
Stop your whining harder.
What you gonna do if I don't stop, huh? I will slap the hell out of you right now, Lee.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll bitch slap you back to Africa.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Well, come on, let me see that. Come on, I want to see you do that. Goddammit. Come on. Lee, do it. You don't know you.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, but how he gets out, it's amazing. Like, you are right. It's amazing how he can just climb through that and pick the rope open with his teeth, and then Tucker's there just going, bite it,
Yeah.
bite it like a dog, and all this sort is absolutely brilliant.
And again, thankfully, they're taken to where they want to go. They're taken to Las Vegas, which is exactly the same place they needed to go. And when they come out the sewers, they're right outside the Red Dragon casino, which is so handy for them.
Very handy.
And they have to go, obviously, and look the part, which is absolutely brilliant. When they go to the Versace store and actually go and meet, when they meet the guy in the shop, and he just is that Jeremy Piven from Entourage.
Yeah,
He's so camp. He's so over the top. The one-liners that he comes out with, whether he's making them up, he is, isn't he? You see it in the outtakes.
yeah, the outtakes are fucking brilliant.
Oh, just what he says to them is.
Yeah.
And again, I was in stitches.
Hi, nice to see you. Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm gonna need black, 42 long, and nothing touches this body but pure silk. And get my partner something from the kids department.
Okay, would your partner like to be wrapped in silk as well? Some people think it's tacky, but I really enjoy it when couples dress alike.
No, wait a minute, no. This ain't no couple thing, man. We police officers working a very dangerous case and we need some clothes.
Yes, there are a lot of men chasing us.
As well they should be. Listen, you have nothing to worry about, okay? Because I'm gonna turn you two into the belle of the ball.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's start with you, shall we? You got the mochaccino face, wonderful skin, and the big broad shoulders, okay? Let's put a dead animal on you. Croc skin, buttercream, croc skin, buttercream. What size is the waist? Let's go in. I wanna-
Hey! Watch his sweetness.
He's got some fire to him.
Honey, cups.
I like that.
Go get the clothes.
Okay,
Hurry up.
I'll pull some items. Ooh, Jesus. Little Kim, I'll be back.
You see that?
He likes you.
It was hilarious. It was brilliant.
He's just so good to make that up so quick, and you can see that Jackie Chan and even Chris Tucker is pissing himself.
Oh yeah, definitely. To be confronted like that, if you're not used to it, sort of thing, and how he obviously enjoys trying to make people feel uncomfortable.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
He looks so good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's having fun doing this.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
just great. And I think in these scenes, when you look at them, I always love watching their faces, because sometimes you can, especially in shit like this, when you can work out if they've had outtakes, that they're trying not to laugh and they just think, fuck it, just go with it.
Yeah, they're all smiling, aren't they? They're all grinning behind the lines, aren't they? You can see that,
Yeah.
definitely. Especially Chris Tucker. He's really struggling not to just burst out laughing.
Yeah, and Jackie Chan's terrible at fucking hiding anything, isn't he? He's an idiot.
I think that's why it was mainly aimed at Chris rather than Jackie, because I don't think he would have been able to control it as well. Because it's like, oh yeah, I think he likes you and stuff.
I just love his lines. It flows so well. The campness is brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd love him to be back in it. Honestly, it's just brilliant. Rather than George, the fucking taxi driver.
No, don't. He's such a fucking useless.
Just get this guy back again.
Definitely.
But again, talking about padding out in the casino, it was too padded out for me, to be honest. I mean, you've got Tucker who meets the agent again, and she's the one who says to him when he's kind of dancing with her, Isabella says, "Look, the plates are here. I want you to go and get the plates." And
It was Chan.
Yeah, it was Chan who she was dancing with.
sorry, it was Chan she was dancing with. And I kind of thought, oh, just don't fall for this shit again. She's done it again and again. You're just reusing the same stuff. And it was kind of, if I want a heist of in a casino, I'll go and watch Ocean's 11, you know, because that's done so well.
Oh, definitely great film.
He goes and gets he has to go and get the plates and causes a distraction. And for me, it sounds miserable, and I don't mean to be miserable. just too long of Chris Tucker going on about he can't get the money because he's a black guy and it's a racist casino. And I know it's all the junk free Nelson Mandela and everything, but it was just too much, too long, you know.
Yeah, the thing is, he'd made the distraction. You watched him do it, and he made the distraction, but then he just carried it on, didn't he? It's like, oh, come on, mate, give it up, you know.
And again, they do try and play to the strengths of these actors, but this was just too much. I don't know what you thought, Rav, or whether you thought it flowed well, but I could be
I just
me
couldn't
being
take him
that.
seriously in that alligator tan suit. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's style, and I don't have any style to say the least. However, then again, it is Las Vegas, though, isn't it? So it's always extravagant out there.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
But when Chan goes to get those plates, again, the choreography, you going back to what he does best, fighting those multiple guys using the cupboards. And when he slides through that tiny slot in that grate of where they dish the cash out, is just incredible. And the outtakes, he really hurts himself, doesn't he?
He does. He smacks into it, doesn't he? Oh,
he really does. And luckily for him, he meets Hu Lee, who then tapes a bomb in his mouth. And I always kind of wonder, and I know you can't do it, but it's funny that this woman is a psychopath. That's clear from the start.
Oh, definitely.
Why she doesn't just fucking kill him? It's just,
well, I thought that when she killed Tan on the boat, although she didn't. Why wouldn't you just shoot him then? But she didn't. She smiles at him and walks away, and that's a massive issue, isn't it? It's just like it does it in all these type of films have it, don't they? You got the opportunity to kill the guy that you don't want around, and you just.
It's a classic James Bond villain trope, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you all my plans, and then I'm going to kill you. Well, attempt to kill you slowly, and it doesn't happen, and you end up losing.
The best one for that is in Austin Powers, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
They rip that trope apart, don't they? So well.
I'll go and get a gun. I'll kill him right now. No. I'm going to put him behind that door and think it happened and presume it's just happened. Yeah, brilliant.
But I think possibly because they want to introduce the shock factor of Ricky Tan being still alive, which is just underwhelming. So he's still got a bomb in his mouth, and you do get another fight scene, which is pretty short, which really leads to Melina getting shot and Jackie Chan falling out of the office where he is, and you see Stephen Rain going into his room that Tan does, Ricky Tan, that he's double crossing him to steal the plates. And you get where it's very similar to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where Chan's rushing around trying to find the detonator switch to stop the bomb going off his mouth, and people are kicking it around on the carpet. And it was all right. It didn't kind of capture my imagination and get me excited, you know. It's been done before, better, I think.
I think you're completely right. Yeah. It was trophy, wasn't it?
It was very.
It's another case of Black Widow. There's no tension. You know he's not going to die. Yeah. So let's move on to what's going to happen next for me. And it leads to Carter having a fight with Hu Lee. And it's quite a slapstick fight, really, isn't it? There's not much. There's not a lot of stakes. I didn't find that too entertaining. I was a bit disappointed.
It's very slow.
Yeah, I was really disappointed the way. Well, all right, she doesn't die, but we think she dies, and I found that really disappointing because she's double-hard, psychopath, could kill him in an instant, and she accidentally gets hit in the chest with an axe.
Yeah,
and it was quite sad, really. I thought it was quite lame the way they did it.
Yeah,
unsurprised to kill the character.
Yeah, and it is always for someone who's so good at this choreography that it must be frustrating for them fighting someone who's not skilled in it, but they might have to do a fight scene and it's slowed down to that degree. But it always makes me laugh in these films, and lots of films where just before it happens, where you get Isabella Molina, the agent, where she pulls a gun out and she says, "Stop! You're under arrest. I'm a agent." Why would you say that? You don't need to. It's not important at this time, is it?
No, you're surrounded. You've got no chance of escape, and yet you're pulling out a gun, telling them, "Oh, I work for the police." Yeah, that's not very smart.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. So
I'm just going to shoot you now, and she gets shot. Yeah.
It's just absolute fucking nonsense. But yeah, it's a sad way she dies, or you think she dies, because she kind of deserved better than that. And
Yeah.
again, it annoyed me when Ricky Tan goes into the room with Stephen Rain. And Rain knows how deadly and dangerous Ricky Tan is, that he's been with the Triads. He is rated as a very dangerous person. That he's going to and not have a weapon on him at all, but just a smug smile and say that I never lose.
Yeah. What was that about?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Literally walk up to him and go, I'll just take these plates with me, and shows him his gun, doesn't it? Oh, it's just bollocks.
Yeah. Got his gun in his pocket. There's
Yeah.
no threat there whatsoever. And Ricky Tan just stabs him in the heart. Whether it's because of their age, they couldn't have had a fight, or I honestly don't know. But it's ridiculous. It's just like walking up to someone who's a complete nutcase saying, right, I'm going to take everything you've got, and I don't expect you to punch me in the face.
Yeah.
It's just then, you're letting them get that close to you.
Yeah.
If you're about to screw your partner over, with these two plates, you're allowing someone to walk that close to you, where if you're going to try and draw a gun, you're pretty much at a disadvantage.
Is that arrogant, or
Yeah.
it's just the fact that the writing's just quite poor, isn't it?
Yeah.
At this stage of the film, they're just sort of they've pieced it together, and
Can't be asked.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we need to kill him off. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't very good, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that amazing character, Hooli, gets hit really shit way. She potentially dies, and then this big bad, rich bastard, and then he gets stabbed because he's an arrogant twit. It just it's lazy.
What's the point in having the character?
Very lazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Again,
It's pointless.
Yeah, it is really, really. Yeah, it's just annoying. It's as if they're trying to rush the end, because when Chan walks in and finds him dead on the floor, and Carter's there as well, there's not a fight scene between Tan and Carter, which I possibly would have liked more.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's the lack of ability or the age, or whether he is older, whether Ricky Tan is. But
he's
for him
only
just to
actually 2 years younger.
Oh, really?
Than Jackie Chan. He was born in 1952, so yeah, he's 2 years older, and Jackie Chan was 1954.
Oh, okay. So, but for him to get kicked out of the window like that and die falling into a taxi, with another falling death of the film that we reviewed, it's just a really easy way out for me. It's a really lazy way. It was just a shame. I wanted more, I wanted more stakes, more tension.
Yeah. I just don't know why he would stand there. Sorry, Rav. And
That's okay.
he's got a gun to his face, and he's basically telling him how he killed his dad and how pathetic he is and stuff like that. It's like I didn't get it. I didn't buy it at all. I was just like, why is he doing this? Does he want him to shoot him in the face? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you two can explain it to me, because I just didn't see the point in it.
I think both you and Stuart hit on the head, whereby the writers needed to have a quick close, and this was the easiest out that they could, to come up with. You have plenty of opportunities to say, right, here's, like you said, a fight scene between Jackie Chan, Ricky Tan, Chris Tucker's character, but all Ricky Tan does is hold a gun up, shoot at Chris Tucker, who holds up a rug, and then Jackie Chan just kicks him, flying kick straight out the window. It's like, well, sure, the tensile strength of a window is not going to break by you falling up against it, because if that's the case, then we're all screwed, aren't we?
That's true as well, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really easy ending. And again, as you say, you've got, when I think it's all over, Zizi Zhang, Hu Li comes in with a bomb, and they both jump out the window and kind of slide down the rope with the lanterns are hung on. And the special effects just awful. Yeah,
they're terrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So again, this is the thing that gets me. So again, I'm a bit of plot thing, whereby Su Ying's walks back into the room with two massive C4 blocks. That's going to take out the entire, that section of the flooring. Yeah, fair enough. The explosion is quite grand, but you've just had a axe, impaled into your chest. Your lung is, you got a collapsed lung. How the hell are you walking? You would have bled up by now. But again, it goes back to the trope of, we need a big finish. because we've just ruined our big finish by the guy falling into a taxi. So we need something. We need a Hollywood finish, explosions.
Yeah.
It wasn't the ending that I wanted. I wanted a big ending. I wanted something exciting. I wanted stakes, and the special effects of them sliding down there was really, really bad compared to
terrible.
It's as if they're looking for what's the next big stunt that we can do.
Yeah. I completely agree. I did find the bit with the lorry quite funny though, where Jackie Chan's running along the side of it and Chris Tucker's just bouncing off it. I did find that funny, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that was very, very good. But so it ends with our two heroes at the airport where Lee's going to go away. He gets his kiss off Isabel Molina that he wanted, and
He does.
It ends with them just walking away with war playing, doing that stupid walk dance that they did in the end of number 3, didn't they?
Yeah. It's pretty much just the way they end all the films, isn't it?
It's the formula, isn't it? End of the day.
It is. It's the same music, the same sort of comedy, in the same way that they've ended the films. So yeah.
And that leads into the amazing Rush Hour 3. But yeah, so that was 2001 Rush Hour 2. So I mean, let's go Rav. Rav is our lovely guest. Hopefully long-term guest.
Hopefully stays forevermore.
Best bits. What was your worst bits? What would you give it out of 5?
I think, again, Jackie. I do like Jackie Chan movies, so the choreographing, the stunts, that was definitely the best bits. The worst bits, I have to say, is the plot. It's a god awful plot. It's written very badly. I mean, you're laundering money made in Las Vegas to send into, you pack into terracotta warriors to send it to Hong Kong, for that to be sent back to LA, and then back to Vegas to be laundered again. Why not just cut out the middleman of Hong Kong, just send it to LA and back again? So it's almost like you wasted an entire just budget on, let's go to Hong Kong. I appreciate, you've got, they're on holiday. Chris Tucker's seeing what Jackie Chan, where he grew up, where the life he's lived as a police officer in Hong Kong. But I don't understand why you need to, where the plot rolls around the money laundering. It's almost like an afterthought.
Yeah, completely.
So we need something to Vegas. We need to get to Vegas. We need to big show. So it's always going to be. Let's face it. It's going to be Las Vegas, New York City, Washington, or trying to think where else to be. Those are the big places, though, in the US, or So,
it is like Florida, Miami, things like that, isn't it?
That's Florida, Miami. That's what. Yeah, so it's going to be those places, and it's almost like a gift. Body cop movies whereby something international is happening. You're going to choose a big city in the rest of the world, and then you're always going to come back to the US, and it's going to be in one of these cities.
Yeah. So, how much would you give this out of 5?
I would say 3.
3.
3 out of 5.
Is this a film you'd recommend to someone to watch?
If you've watched, I do like watching the sequels and prequels if they're good.
Yeah.
But, yes, I enjoyed number 1. Number 1 was something fresh. I mean, it wasn't like Riggs and Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon, and it wasn't like the Bad Boys with Martin and Smith. So this is the other buddy cop movie, which you say, right, this is something else. It's not like Tango and Cash, but this is the 2000s body cop movie.
I completely agree. I mean, Neil, what's your take on this?
I like this definitely more than 3, but I know we have very different opinions on that film. I think my favourite bits about this is probably the martial arts bits and the comedy. I thought they did both really, really well. I like the way they actually brought Chris Tucker into the fights and gave him a bit more credence rather than just a flailing idiot. So I did enjoy that. The worst bits, I think, were definitely the whole storyline was pretty weak, but the ending was just terrible. Too many people died too easily, and the special effects were shocking. And I'd probably, if we're doing it out of 5 instead of 10, I'd probably give it a 2.5. And I recommend it just because the first one's good and it's worth watching this one because it has got some good funny bits in and the outtakes are worth watching.
Yes, I completely agree.
Definitely outtakes.
Yeah, I think the worst bits is when I get to casino onwards. For me, I think the movie suffers. And I think,
It's
as I
very
said,
rushed.
yeah, completely rushed ending, with a lack of suspense considering how well they've built up to this moment. And the best bits there are so many. It's hard to pick one out. I mean, I really loved it when they're in the Versace shop. I thought that was great. Chris Tucker singing his karaoke. I thought that was really, really funny. It's just the one-liners coming from him are brilliant. And I think probably the best thing about this, and it is a good film, and I enjoyed this film, and again, I could watch it again. But the outtakes for me, I love outtakes in all films. I think it's so good. Just seeing behind the scenes and seeing the chemistry between the two guys, and the fact that Jackie Chan can't speak English, and when you hear the cast calling out what the actual words is that it should be saying, and the patience of both of them is incredible. It's so funny. But
the one with Chris Tucker and the fish on the plane, it was hilarious.
Is this the kosher meal?
Yes, sir, that's our kosher meal.
What's the name of it?
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. Lots and bagels. That's my favorite. What's the name of this stuff?
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. Oh, what's the name of this fish?
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte? You know what this is? What is it?
Gefilte fish.
It's filter fish. Filter fish. You want some of my filter fish? You want any of this? What's the name of the fish?
Gefilte fish. Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. All right, okay.
Gefilte fish. I love this stuff.
I really don't. You have black people all over the world eating this. You eat some lots of bagels. I have some guilty fish.
It just, he could not get that fucking fish names right, could he? It was. The woman was getting so angry with him.
Yeah, she was getting really pissed off, wasn't she? It was brilliant. But I'd give this a 3 out of 5. I mean, I enjoyed this film. I thought it was really, really good, and it's just a fun film to watch. It's a no-brainer, and I think at the right moment, at the right time, this is one of the films that you could easily turn to. And again, if it was on TV as I was flicking, I'd probably sit and watch it. So, so that was Rush Hour 3. Sorry, that was Rush Hour 2. Sorry to confuse things.
Don't make me review that film again. Jesus Christ.
Rush Hour 1 will be next week. And it'll be interesting to see if we can finish it on a high, even better scores, because as we know, 1 is always the best. That'll be interesting to hear. And hopefully we'll get James back next week to do that. If there's any films that you guys want us to review, then you can tweet us. We're on the Twitter at the Film Reel Cast or the filmreelcast@gmail.com, and go to the YouTube channel as well. You can leave comments on there if there's anything you want to review. There's lots of videos. As I say, I've just done Beneath, which is a terrible film. Myself and Neil will be doing episode 4 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we
cannot wait.
It's absolutely brilliant. The things are hotting up. They're running out of episodes, so something's got to happen. It's going to be good.
I'm getting palpitations thinking something's got to go down. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
It's going to be very exciting ending. There's a new trailer for Loki out. Everyone watched that. There's another trailer for Black Widow out. Have you guys seen these trailers yet?
I haven't. No, I'm trying not to, so I don't want anything ruined. I think they always give too much away in trailers these days. Often you'll see that you've watched a trailer and you've seen all the best bits of the film. So I try not to.
Yeah, I've not looked at Loki. I haven't watched the Black Widow one yet, but I'm not too fussed because we know how it's going to end and where it's going to go to. So it's going to be all about Budapest because that's what her and Hawkeye always spoke about, is Budapest. So
that's true.
I should imagine that's what's going to be it. But that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And Rav, thanks ever so much for coming on the podcast. Please come back, and if I know you work some crazy hours, but please come back and do number 1. If not, we're then going on to the Terminator franchise. So it'll be great to have you along for that ride as well.
Definitely.
Superb. Well, it's been great doing that. Thanks everyone. I hope everyone enjoys this podcast. Please subscribe, check out YouTube, It's been great. I'm Stuart. Thank you very much.
I'm Neil. Goodbye.
Come on, Rav. Say goodbye.
Oh, sorry, Rav. Goodbye.
Cheers, bye.